standing.
Hey!
Welcome back to the Freezing Bear office, where we dissect bad ads. It's an exciting day because Grammarly has released some new ads. Grammarly seems to release ads quite frequently. It seems like they have quite a quick turnover on their ads for some reason, which is good for content, but not my mental health.
Wait!
I don't get why he was going to submit his essay when his whole top paragraph is highlighted in red. Does that mean that his whole first paragraph isn't spelled correctly? And then in his third paragraph, there's a whole sentence highlighted in blue. Was he really just gonna submit it with all those mistakes? He was just like, I've been working on this for like 4 hours now. I really cannot be bothered. I'm just gonna submit it as is. I do not care anymore.
Did you download Grammarly? Come on, man. Everyone's using it. If you want to ace this paper, then don't press submit. Grammarly helps you clean up your messy, confusing sentences to get your point across clearly. See how much more clear and confident you sound now?
So this guy's pretty fast on a computer. He was able to download Grammarly really quickly. Like during their conversation, he was able to have it downloaded, which is pretty impressive. However, in this ad, when Grammarly suggests a sentence revision, it's highlighted in blue. So was he already using Grammarly, but just ignoring all of the help Grammarly was giving him? And was just gonna submit the essay without using any of Grammarly's tips? Either way, I'm a bit confused. Obviously, I'm looking too far into it, but that's just how I like to analyze ads. So let's just keep on going.
And don't forget about spelling and grammar mistakes.
And I half expected the example to be your or you are, but Grammarly actually went with a more complex word.
Click the highlighted area and Grammarly will offer you the fix just like that.
I'm always annoyed when they just show like, oh, look at how sophisticated our program is. And then they show it like correcting the most basic mistakes. However, let's have a look and see if this mistake would get caught in Google Docs. Unfortunately, can't quite give them full marks here because this mistake would get caught in Google Docs.
Grammarly checks against billions of sites and catches any accidental plagiarism. Looks like an A+ to me.
Grammarly ads always seem to do this. They make it seem like by using their product, you're guaranteed that A+. It's like, oh, you know, before using Grammarly, that was a C at best. You know, you just made a few corrections and boom, there we go. There's a lot more to writing an essay than just grammar, spelling, and good word choice. Like you actually have to show understanding of what you're writing about. Are you supporting your arguments with good research? Are you providing the right sources? Well, at least that's what this article says that I'm reading from. I'm not that Englishly inclined, obviously. As you can tell, I'm like barely can get some sentences together sometimes.
I just don't know how to express myself sometimes when I need to be properly different.
Thank you, guys, for showing me the power of Grammarly.
Grammarly values their product so highly, just like, oh, the power of Grammarly. Like, if you don't use Grammarly, you're not going anywhere, you know? And in their ads, this character in his future self is the CEO of a company, you know, he's super successful.
Sorry I'm late. Yes, dude! I mean, looks like we got to the CEO position.
And if he hadn't have been warned and then ended up submitting that essay, he would have become like homeless on the street. You're always one bad essay away from becoming homeless. You know when rich people pay people to take university courses for them so they don't have to? Like this is the amount of like enthusiasm in the ad that I would expect from that service. Like, we're gonna take the course for you, you know? Like everything is gonna be handled, just give us like $5,000 and boom, you know, you're gonna have like your PhD or whatever it is. The amount of hype they give their product in their ads for what the actual service is just seems like they don't really balance out enough for me, in my opinion. I expect some guy to kind of walk in and be like, okay, so yeah, I'll take this course for you, you know, I'll get you the A you need, you know, just leave it to me, you know. I'll wear the mask, you know, with a little voice strip over it, you know, like in Mission Impossible, and nobody will even know it's not you. So that was one ad. Let's check out the next one.
If you want to ace your paper, download Grammarly.
I was just talking about this and already, boom. Do you want to ace your paper? Download Grammarly. Like, Grammarly can't make you ace your paper. Just, it will help you do better on your paper. Unless Grammarly also has like a site on the deep web where you can go in and like pay somebody to do your courses for you or something like that. Then maybe. Just go on tour, find our site, you know, select through, you know, your course, your program, you know, and we'll have somebody get on it right away.
Grammarly helps you clean up messy, confusing sentences to get your point across clearly. Whoa, good looks.
Of course, they have the Grammarly trope of being shocked by how well Grammarly works. Like, whoa, it completely just changed my whole sentence around. Wow. It's kind of like essential to their brand now. I'm pretty sure when they're making these ads, they have like lists of rules that you have to follow. And one of them is like, the actors have to seem absolutely shocked when Grammarly works. Like if they're not like absolutely blown away by how well Grammarly works, then they have to reshoot the scene.
Just click on the highlighted areas and Grammarly's advanced spelling and grammar suggestions will fix those right up.
Let's chuck this sentence also into Google Docs and see if it will catch the mistake. Oh my God, Grammarly, you've officially done it. Okay, I want a round of applause, a large round of applause, okay? You've officially found something that Google Docs didn't catch. So there we go. If you're someone who uses deep-seated in your essays a lot, you pretty much have to download Grammarly because Google Docs just can't catch that. I guess good job, Grammarly? Kind of pains me to say that, like a little part of me kind of dies inside when I have to say that, but you know, credit where credit's due. You guys are actually improving. So, you know, maybe in like 10 years time, there'll be a Grammarly ad that we can all watch and we can all like laugh together, you know, and be happy.
Anything else cool happen to us in the future? We finish undergrad early, working on our PhD now, and we meet a guy named Brent, fall in love, but he wasn't the one.
Did she just say Brent?
Brent.
According to Sarai.
The prophecy is true.
Thank you.
She's saving me together forever.
That's a cool crossover and all, but it does highlight the one downside to using Grammarly. It keeps you single forever because you just become too successful using Grammarly that you don't have enough time to hook up with other people. I'm a CEO now working 100 hours a day, 12 days a week, you know, I just don't have any time for anybody else, you know, so that's unfortunately the one and only downside to using Grammarly. It's the very definition of suffering from success. Grammarly's starting to throw lore into their ads so that way like MatPat channels start like breaking them down. You know, you got the hello internet, welcome to ad theory. It's actually really hard to do the voice. And then you'd go on to like look through all the ads to figure out why they broke up. That would actually be really cool. Could that actually be done? Like if you looked through all these ads enough, could you find out why they broke up? If they've done that, that is an incredible amount of effort. Like that would be pretty cool. But hey, that's just a theory. No, I did the food theory one. No. But hey, that's just a theory. An ad theory. And skip. You know, because like you skip ads.
What'd you win? Oh, you know, just some little old Peace Prize. Casual with the Peace Prize? Yeah, you already know.
Oops, Grammarly, it appears you have a line of sight continuity error in your video. Unlucky. Sarai in her beekeeper suit turns to her right and says,
Casual with the Peace Prize?
but then when Sarai, who won the Peace Prize, is replying back,
Yeah, you already know.
the beekeeper can be seen like right beside her. The conversation doesn't quite work because the line of sight. If you're speaking to somebody and you're leaning, but then you're also in the reply shot, like that doesn't really work. Person watching this on the phone, did you see it? Do you understand what I'm talking about? What should I call Freezing Bear fans? Freezers? Freezers! Freezer. I'll be like, what up, freezers? I'm sorry. I'm getting too sidetracked. I'm back. We're back on the ad now.
Looks good to me. Submit it.
In the very beginning, she had one sentence written.
See, I love our ideas here.
Then throughout this whole conversation, somehow she's finished enough so that way they're like, yeah, submit it. Either that or this version of herself is just like the chaos version and is just like, do it, you know? See what your professor thinks when you only send him in one sentence. You never know. You don't know until you haven't tried. You don't know until you haven't tried. You don't know unless you haven't tried. I just did it again. You don't know until you've tried. That took way too long. If Grammarly releases speech correction where like you talk and it just like redacts what you just said wrong and then allows you to talk properly, I'll be buying that 100%.
By the way, you end up getting an A+.
Obviously, there's some sort of time machine thingy going on here. She was probably able to, you know, figure out what the right lottery numbers were from, the future, and then, did a bunch of lottery tickets and then made a bunch of money so she could bribe the professor to giving her like an A so she didn't have to write the full essay and only write a sentence. That's the only way that really makes sense to me. 200K, okay, yeah, sure, I'll give you that A+. If you can manage to get 1 million, I'll give you an A+ for your final mark. So because I have time travel in this ad, that just adds on a whole nother level to this video. Like, maybe that would kind of explain why they aren't still together. Maybe it's the CEO, Brent, because he was like, oh, if I stay with her, I don't become a CEO, so then I have to like go back in time and break things up and get the other guy to break up with her so that way I can still be a CEO. But hey, that's just a theory. Okay. No more MatPat references from this point onwards, I'm sorry. Another interesting thing about this set of Grammarly ads is they've also released behind the scenes footage for how they made each ad. Let's check one of them out. I'm the on-set smile coordinator for these new Grammarly ads that we are shooting. My job is to make sure the actors are smiling enough in each scene. We want wide smiles, you know, we want them to really show their excitement. Our viewers expect each Grammarly ad to be jam-packed full of smiles, and we want to make sure that we deliver on that. This ad is a bit controversial in my opinion because this is the first ever Grammarly ad where somebody's crying in it, you know?
She's saving me together forever.
It definitely wouldn't have been my choice to do this, but you know, it was what the higher ups wanted, and that's my job to make sure that their ideas come to fruition, so that's what we're doing, you know? I did make sure that the crying person is surrounded by 3 other people who are smiling and happy, so you know, it shouldn't really make the tone of the ad, you know, it shouldn't drop it down any lower. It should still be a net positive on the happy scale. Grammarly as a brand doesn't want to be stagnant, they want to try new things, and this is their way of doing so. You know, we're kind of going to see, like, is this going to give us more views? Are we going to get more people downloading Grammarly because of this? Maybe somebody is sad and they see this ad and they kind of relate to the sad character and they're like, oh, you know, I will download Grammarly, because there's a lot of people who aren't happy in this world, and so, you know, you do want to cater to them as well. It's a demographic that's growing larger and larger, so you really want to make sure that you are representing that demographic. So that is kind of why the Grammarly team decided on this scene here. So we're going to end this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and please subscribe. And why not check out some of my other videos I've made on Grammarly ads.